Kevin Durant the best player on the planet?
I believe he is. I believe that right now he is. When we acknowledge what he does defensively, that was really the only thing missing back in the day. When you look at the offensive arsenal, you can't. It depends on what your preference is. Obviously, you look at little LeBron and you think about 260 pounds and the kind of effect that he can have. But from a skill perspective, tell me who has Kevin Durant's arsenal? 6'11", 7'6" wingspan, threes, mid-range, finishes on the break, handle, pull up, Jay, fall away. And oh, by the way, unlike LeBron James with 66% at the free throw line, 67%, Kevin Durant is near 90. Okay? This is a career 27-point per game scorer. This is a career 49% shooter from the field. This is a career 36% shooter from three-point range, 38% shooter from three-point range. Everything you look at, the only thing he doesn't have is the strength to drop step on you and just yam it on you from a physicality standpoint. Now, because of his height, he can still post and turn around and shoot from a post position with his back to the basket. There is nothing missing from his arsenal. And then when you take into account the fact that he elevates his game offensively come playoff time, postseason time, there is no disappearing act. He ain't hard to find. You consider that along with the two-time MVP, two-time NBA Finals, meaning NBA Finals MVP, two-time champion, and so on and so forth. This is a man that has the potential to surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the greatest scorer in the history of basketball. We're seeing things. People thought I was crazy when I said, hey, you know what? Larry Bird, last 2 minutes. Everybody knows money time, no question about it. Can't take it either way. But when we talk about small forward stuff like that, I look at LeBron James as the greatest small forward who ever lived. I look at Kevin Durant. What is you, a hybrid? It doesn't matter. What this brother brings to the floor right now, particularly once Giannis validated what I said he didn't have yesterday.
One game.
Kevin Durant is another level.
Well, I think KD is close to a perfect player, and so then it begs the question, why isn't he considered greater on the all-time list? It's because he hasn't shown the ability to lead a team that's not better than all the other teams, just as good to a win. In fact, he had the chance with OKC, went into Oracle, failed by choking in the, by the way, as did Westbrook, late in that game, and LeBron just led another team, no more talented than KD's team, and beat
But you do know
Golden
that
State
OKC
at
wasn't
Oracle.
considered better than Golden State that year, right?
Huh?
Even though they were up 3-1, you do know that OKC was not considered better than Golden State.
Once the playoffs started, a lot of people around the league were like, I think OKC might be the best. Yeah, they were scared. That's a good way to put it. They were scary. Look, KD's making a hell of a case for himself because when Steph and Clay are hobbled and they need more from him, he gives them more. That's all you can ask. Then again, do teams, like the reason KD is so open so much of the time is not only because he can handle and he has infinite range and he can finish and all those things, it's because you don't want the ball in Steph's hands or Clay's hands, counting by three. You don't want to count by three with two of the greatest three-point shooters who ever lived who shoot it all the time. And so KD is much more open than guys on other teams. You got to pay more attention to them. Look, against James Harden, Kerr really just outcoached D'Antoni, too. You post up KD against Harden. There's not a lot Harden can do. You're not a good defensive rebounding team, the Rockets, and Golden State really exploited that. But is KD the best player in the world? I just saw Kawhi, who's in the conversation. His regular season wasn't as good as KD's, but he's coming off injury. When last seen in a full season, I thought Kawhi was a little bit better than KD. When last seen healthy, his way inferior team had a 20-point lead on KD's way superior team right up until the moment Kawhi got hurt, and then everything fell apart. And now he's back, has a season under his belt. He's healthy on a squad, dropped 45 points playing all-world defense, and it's his team won. I don't think you could put KD ahead of Kawhi right now. I don't see it.
I think so. So when I watch this, right, you look at the first two games of the Clip series, and that's when we get the whole "you know who I am" and all that. To watch KD elevate his play to where he is so much better than everybody else that plays for the Warriors. Not just better than everybody else that's in the league. When you look at Steph and it's Clay and it's Draymond and it's all these guys, which is the reason why we said LeBron was the best player in the world at that time because he was able to beat this team. KD is so much better than them. When Patrick Beverley and Lou Williams step up to the podium after the game and say, you think we weren't trying? You think we didn't come up with all these different coverages to stop him? So for me, what makes him the best player in the world right now to me is he understands when he has to turn it on. He does understand that he has Klay and he has Steph Curry, and during the season that these guys can get threes in bunches. But when things get tight, right, when coverage gets a little closer, when the fouls aren't called the same, it's when KD is needed. And since he said, you know who I am, I can get my shot whenever I want, it's been 38, it's been 33, it's been 45, it's been 50, it's been 35 in this game. He is unstoppable.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Max, let me throw this at you. Do you know yesterday when he scored 35 points? Do you know that was the worst shooting game he's had during these playoffs? The worst shooting game he had in the playoffs. He only hit 44%. The other games that he's played in these finals, this is KD. KD, rather. 50%. 62.5%, 60%, 57%, 53%.
I'm not good at math. Is that good, Stephen A?
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
That's pretty good.
What I'm trying to say is that, you know, Max, do you know how many games I've watched the Golden State Warriors, and I'm looking at Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, they explode, they get hot, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, you know, what KD doing? And then you know what?
Why?
In other words, and you hear Green, and you hear Mike Green. I mean, the bang! You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it when he says that. And Mark Jackson and Van Gundy go, and then all of a sudden they'll just drop on the screen. Oh, jumper by KD. KD's he's got 32 now. I mean,
I agree. Let me say this. Let me say this.
What he does.
The plus minus of the team throughout the season barely changes. No matter what permutation you have of players, including KD, whether he's on or off the floor, the real guy who changes everything is Steph. And I believe he's also largely responsible for the absurd cartoonish numbers KD puts up.
I do think he's the most important player on that team. I agree with that.